Actually, my presentation is to the millennials. The Chinese call it the Zhou Ling Ho, which means basically the people who are born after 1990. And what I did is I did a little bit of reading about them, okay? So there's a popular book right now out, it's called The Chinese Millennial. People who are born after 1990, they have very positive features, very positive characteristics, such as tolerant, being able to work with other people, such as being confident. They know they can do something in their life. They can achieve something in their life. They're also open-minded. They're open to other people's ideas. They're ambitious, so they want to succeed in their lives. But they're cynical. Cynical means you see things quite on a negative side. Often they're described as depressed. They are described as being lonely. They are described as being anxious, being afraid of making decisions, being afraid of going forward. And often, especially in China, they have been described as being spoiled. The reason was given is because of the one-child policy. Lots of, basically 4 people, 5 people taking care of one child. And the other thing is that the economy here in China has increased 14 times on average per household in China. He quotes in his book, Eric Fish, a girl called Rachel, and this is what she was saying. In order to tell you this. Another issue is the fitness level. What was found out is that the fitness level of the young generation constantly went down. And this is not just in China, it's everywhere around the world. So I asked myself, why is it that the fitness level went down? And I found out actually it's related to this thing here. We started before 1980, we simply had a fixed phone. During the fixed phone, what happened is you can only call your friends in the evening, because you know that's when they're home. During the day, they were not home, they were somewhere else. I remember then, my personal story, back in '91, my boss, okay, I had my first job, and my boss had a phone in his car. He was driving around in his car. And he picked up the phone in his car, and I said, wow, you can actually answer your phone now in the car. And then I remember back in '93, I was sitting in a ski lift. Okay, I'm from Switzerland, so we have beautiful mountains to go skiing. In that, I was sitting there, enjoying the mountains, and suddenly I hear some guy talking in front of me. 30 meters away in the chairlift, he was talking. And I was wondering, who is he talking to? There was nobody there. And then I realized he has a phone in his hand and he was talking to someone. What a development. What an amazing story. Nowadays, this is, I don't call really telephone anymore. Actually, who uses this as a telephone? Okay. Not many people. Maybe during the whole day, how many actual phone calls are you making? Not many. I maybe make 1 or 2 phone calls a day with this, but I'm constantly on this thing. Why? Because it's a computer. This is not a telephone. We call it smartphone, but it's actually a computer. Now this computer has an impact on our social life. So let's watch a video which shows you this.
Driving with a box stuck under his car. And Like, who knows how long he was driving? I saw him pull out of the parking lot and turn right, and the box was still stuck under his car. So who knows how long he was driving with that box under his car? I like bet he got home, he pulled into his driveway.
Cloud in the sky. I'm not.
Wow.
You're like, it's not
I don't think
real.
it's real.
Oh,
I don't think it's
maybe
real.
there's a
I see the lineup for car. It's getting wasted. The Empire State Building is like really close to it, so it's a good.
And I do this with what was in my hands.
So you can see in this video, the phone actually controls our life. Okay, we don't even know about it, I think. But what is interesting also is that it starts not when you are in your age now, actually it starts quite young. Like this little boy here. Okay, nobody wants to play football with him anymore because all the kids are busy playing their games or chatting with their friends on their telephone. The thing is, phones have impacts on everybody, not just on the people here. They have impacts around the world and every culture. Let's have another quick look at a video of what happens here in China.
你好，炒笨蛋请慢用。你们的菜齐了，请慢用。
菜都齐了，我们喝一杯吧。菜都齐了，我们喝一杯吧。今天难得聚在一块儿啊！别。
I would like to introduce now a little bit what's the topic, okay? I think the topic says, would you hire a phubber? What is a phubber? Here I have a definition for it. What is a phubber? It says a person who has the habit of snubbing someone in favor of a mobile phone. So therefore you have the words phone and snubbing. Basically you're ignoring people because of your telephone. Albert Mehrabian's study back in 1971 is a famous study. What he did is he checked how people communicate feelings, how people communicate that they care about others, how people show their attitude. And one way of communication, what they found out actually, is body language is the biggest impact. It has a bigger impact than the tone you're using and even the words you're saying. If you are using the telephone, you don't have this way. You cannot communicate emotions. You cannot communicate your feelings to people. One thing what our school does, Roches in Jiang, is we have classrooms, they are in the restaurant. We have classrooms, they are in the kitchen. We have classrooms, they are at the reception. These are our classrooms. And in these classrooms, what we want is interactions. We want people to communicate as much as possible. We also encourage students to do a lot of projects. We encourage students to go out. As you can see now, I think most of the students here are from Roches in Jiang. So we encourage you to come here because we think this is important that you learn and that you socialize with people. We also have students doing projects such as our F&B. Our students are actually running the coffee breaks here. We want them to communicate with people, give them the platform. This is part of our curriculum. But we also encourage things outside the curriculum, which we call extracurricular activities. On our school, and I think every school should encourage them, is to do lots of clubs, encourage them to run clubs. Give them some resources in order to run clubs. Give them the chance to participate in competitions, organize competitions, such as our dragon boat competition, we are always participating. Or we have our kite festivals in Fengxian, which always students are participating. And we have 4 to 5 clubs on our colleges that are run by students on a daily basis. Every day, 4 to 5 clubs, mostly run by students in order to really teach them the essential social skills. So we must avoid the danger also from a physical point of view. I mentioned that the physical quality went down. You can also see how we are constantly erect. I don't even think myself I'm standing very erect anymore, like it used to be. Okay, I was the computer guy. Last 20 years, always computers. And maybe in the future you're looking like this, that your thing is constantly bended like that. And the worst thing what will happen is probably if people make fun of you in your afterlife. Once you're dead, okay, like in here, if you go up there and you become the joke of the other people who died, that will be very sad, isn't it? Just 2 weeks ago, we had the great pleasure to welcome Mr. Peccenini, or simply called Pecce, on our campus. Pecce is the founder of Wall Street Institute. He became very successful. Okay, and he also established in China Wall Street English. Okay, he became a multimillionaire. And he had one message which I thought was very interesting. He said, we need to be aware of which society we are living in. So I would like you to think a little bit about what I just said and analyze the society we're in. Then make corrections for yourself. Understand that you need to focus in order to become successful. So know when should you use this phone or when should you not use this phone. Such as when I walked in here, it was not an appropriate use to use the phone. Think about technology. You need to use technology. Don't get used by technology. Use the technology in order to become successful. Don't get controlled, don't be controlled by technology. You control the technology. Thank you very much.